So then you need to decide, do you keep the mic in your right hand and this one in your left, or the other way around? I'll start this way. Okay, so thank you for the introduction. What I hope to tell you is that in the way we work, and the way we see it, fashion design, or actually clothing engineering, or product design, or interior design, the way we see it is actually exactly the exact same thing. The only difference is that the craft you apply it to is different. Okay, so the title of this lecture is the G-Star Design DNA. Some facts and figures. We are active in about 70 countries worldwide, and currently we have a web shop open in 50 countries. So it's quite a large global company. And I think very important to what G-Star is doing is that all creativity we keep in-house. So we never hire an agency to develop a store concept for us. Because when they deliver the concept and the agency walks out, all this knowledge and all these learnings are lost. So we keep everything within ourselves, so ranging from campaign development, of course, clothing design, furniture designers, retail designers, visual merchandisers, everything is on our floor. Okay, a small introduction to what is sort of the base of what we're doing. G-Star is about denim, G-Star Raw, I would say. Very important is that most denim brands actually don't really refer to denim itself, but they talk about the romance of the cowboy, or the romance of the biker, or the romance of the bike messenger if you're a modern brand. But what we feel is more appropriate is if you actually look at the materials that this cowboy used in order to do his job. And so that's why he chose this denim. The cowboy itself was not referring to any romance, he was just using the proper material. So in our perspective, denim is actually not clothing, it's armor. It's a very comfortable armor, but it is armor, and because it's so comfortable and it's very protective, it has a lot of use back then, but also in the modern day. And our task is to make this armor wearable. The example you see here is, of course, a very armoring product, but you can also make it more wearable. And then armor you can also interpret as a more urban thing of what is armor actually in a modern urban life. But the base is always an armoring fabric and an armoring construction that allows you to actually do more than what you would without this armor. Viewing it in this way, armor is actually not a textile. To us, it all has to do with product qualities, protection, construction. These are all product themes. So we draw our inspiration also not from the field of fashion, but much more from the field of engineering. If you look at these examples, is this bag, is this a product or is this a bag? Well, it's definitely not fashion. It's all drawn from very functional, utilitarian products. So whether it's a consumer product, a bag, or anything else, that's what's much more interesting to us than what fashion is doing or what any other trend stuff is doing. So this is how we design denims. I think product designers, architects, they are much more familiar with these kind of drawings than clothing designers. A denim is something you engineer. You build around the body. Whether it's a chair where you sit on it, it's also being built around the body. And clothing is being built also around a body. So there's really no difference. Let's say a cash desk, or a denim, or a pavilion. From that perspective, it's really all the same thing. Okay, a small G-Star design introduction course. And what I just said, okay, we make denims, but if you look at motorcycle gear, there's a lot of functional equipment, but we don't celebrate just the motorcyclist and the romance of the motorcyclist. We use whichever solutions the motorcycle world has come up with and translate it to the modern world with the nowadays needs. So for instance, this denim, it has this 3D reinforced knee pads. Very useful, but it's not a romantic product. Same for a bicycle. We collaborated with Cannondale. You see this mountain bike, but for a more urban, metropolitan purpose, we made it much more sturdy. And then, looking at the field of outdoor gear, we found many very practical solutions to reinforce this bicycle. Same for a boat. If you've ever been on one of those bottle boats, if you have a proper party, there's nothing left of the boat. So then we thought, well, what is a very strong product around? And translating this functionality in these details, so it's not just the color, but also really the functionality is applied in this hammer. And if you translate it to a boat, then you get a G-Star product. Okay. What I would like to show you is 4 fields in which we explore denim, but I think we should say more materials in particular. We push ourselves every day to experiment with materials and with functionality, and whatever follows from that, that we translate to our collection, but also to our furniture and our store interiors. The first one, we call them vehicles for experiment. The first one, it's very important to know what's been done in the past. In Dutch you say you shouldn't reinvent the wheel for the second time. Many solutions are already out there. We have a few people full-time that are basically shopping, and they have all these links to vintage and heritage product sellers, and they come up with all these crazy utilitarian products. And there is, I mean, the solution for a good pocket is already out there. You just need to know it. But that's not only for clothing, that's the same for interior design, product design. And so all designers, so for me as a interior specialist, the clothing design is just as interesting because the detailing and the materials used are very inspirational for us, and the same goes for the clothing retailers with furniture and other things. Second, vehicles, we ask an outsider to work with us for a view on G-Star, and for 10 years we've been working with Mark Newson, and he has a very, very interesting view on clothing design. Very much from a product perspective, and because he looks at clothing in a very different way, he comes up with very different solutions. I really like these pocket and sleeve details. They feel like clothing, but they're very much a product designer solution to the same question. Third one is we work with denim, raw denim. And to push ourselves and explore all the possibilities of what you can do with denim, we call them raw protection program. And here we push the boundaries of what you can actually do with this one product. At first you apply it to a field where normally denim is not used. And it could be bite suits, where dog trainers, they train the biting dogs. Well, it's the most hardcore environment you can get. So we learn a lot of how to work with detailing, with connections, with materials. All kinds of other fields, some that deal with water, some that deal with comfort. But even the human body is also a limitation. So if you push it one step further, you can also ask yourself, well, what if a racing dog would wear denim? What kind of solutions can we come up with? Well, it teaches us a lot of how to work with denim and how to work with materials, but it's also a very interesting communication piece that this dog became our campaign model last year. And this results in all these experiments of, for instance, 3D shaping of denim. With the wool is more known for 3D pressing and shaping, but the same you can do with cottons. And of course, the mix of modern polymers and different technical details. And for instance, also here we pressed a lot of denim sheets together, and what you get is a denim solid. So our ultimate goal is, so you see that on the other side, a belt buckle, is to build a denim outfit only made of denim. So zippers, button, buckles. And this program teaches us a lot of what we can actually do with hardening pieces of denim while keeping other pieces soft, different ways of connecting material. So this is a very valuable project that is actually being run in my department, but of course the clothing designers also use the fruit of this experiment. Fourth one is crossovers, where we work together with a company that we feel shares our DNA. And by working together, you learn a lot from each other's working procedures, each other's materials that you use, etc. Here are some examples. Of course, Land Rover, we feel a very strong connection with them, and we were picking up people at the airport. And then we thought, well, why don't we have our own car? That's kind of how it got started, and then the Land Rover came Of course, we're a Dutch company, the bicycle came. You take your clients for a cruise, and then the boat came. Friday night you also do things, so the billiard came. And then we were working on one of our meeting rooms, and then the chair came. And this is a chair from Jean Prouvé's old estate, and it had not been in production for 60 years. We took it back in production. And from this, together with Vitra, followed a series of 18 furniture pieces that is now, I think 12 are now on the market. Then the camera came, we all go on research trips. Okay, all this results in many different ways of where we apply it. It can be trade fair pavilions, of course retail, our own offices. I'll show you a few examples. I'll go through it a bit quickly. So trade fair pavilions range from 1,800 square meters to only a few. This was an experiment in how wide can we be, and it resulted in a lot of new fresh materials like polyester that we use now. So every season we try to highlight and research another part of what we feel we can be. So it can be a super chic retailer, it can be a white brand, it can be a black brand, it can be an Art Deco brand. And because these trade fair pavilions are only there for a few days, it's a really good playground for us to test and explore how G-Star we can be while stepping out of our comfort zone. This year we introduced eyewear, and we always felt so uncomfortable with eyewear pictures where you always see this make-up face with eyewear, and you always look at the face and not at the eyewear. So we asked Bart-Jan Pot to help us, and he was working with these masks. And I think we are the first brand doing eyewear that's actually not using a model's face in the campaign. But instead of that, actually a very strong material expression. So we feel it's very appropriate for us to, how we should do it. Okay, this was last summer's test, which was a test of showing denims, but without the legs. Also, these mannequins that are always in it, they're always such a drag, and they're never as good as the denim. At least we feel so. This was a way of testing, showing clothing without mannequins, and that resulted in our new store concept. I just flew in from London. We opened the store yesterday, and I managed to put a few pictures in. The idea of the store concept is not only to show clothing in a purest way, so without the mannequins, but also, for instance, without a denim wall. Most denim stores, they have this denim wall. But we took the wall out and we only show the legs, so people really focus on the clothing. I'll go back to the other ones here. Here you see these sort of museum-like presentation of these legs with a lot of light in it. The picture looks quite dark, but that's basically because the light is so bright. Same goes for the presentation of the collection. A mannequin. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to make these, to eliminate the mannequins altogether. And the clothing just next to it. It's super simple, but we feel in a time where offer is unlimited with online offer, that actually being very clear in what you feel is right is much stronger than just having the biggest offer. Because that is on our online shop anyway. Also because of this, the whole machine of retail, this building a fake facade, this world of dreams, we believe that being very transparent and being very straightforward is actually a much stronger message. And by being so clear and so straightforward, you actually create a retail experience in itself. So our stockroom, for instance, the entry is right in the middle of the store. And it's just because if somebody needs to get something for you, this is just the fastest way to get there. So by reframing and deconstructing the whole retail concept, and by in a super straightforward way answering all these simple questions of how do you get to your stock, how do you present your denims and not the legs in it, we came to a new, I believe, very strong retail concept. It's very clean, it's very straightforward, but so far the reactions of our clients are very good. Okay. I'll click you through a few retail projects, and then I will take some time to show you our new headquarters. And so this technical detailing, basically, also in retail, if you look at the concept as a whole, is very complicated. But if you look at all the on furniture level, basically they are all engineering problems. You have a hanger bar, it has some weight, it shouldn't fall off, it shouldn't swing too much. So we solve all retail problems in small engineering problems. And so here you see an example of a structure that's keeping up a very long hanger bar. This looks like a very big facade, but actually there's a parking lot, a parking garage behind it, and it's a few layers of mesh, so the wind can still come through it, so no sprinkler installation was needed, but from a distance it looks like sort of a layered rusty facade. This is a test of pressing denim in concrete, and you all know concrete really copies the surface of the mold. So you sort of freeze a moment, and then with hanging the denim next to it, actually the concrete really enforces the story of the fabric. So the pictures I ordered in a range from large scale to very small scale. Here you see a tailor in our stores really working a denim. So if you raw denim, if you make it wet, it shrinks. That's why it's usually not used raw. But if you do use it raw and you wear it for a while, it really shrinks to exactly the shape of your body. But you can also pre-do this in a store by making it wet and then heating it. You can really custom work a denim to fit somebody perfectly. And then when you have a store opening, Doutzen comes and she pops the champagne. Okay, is there still time? Yeah? Okay, I'll go to our new headquarters. Nice link with you. Okay, we approached OMA and Rem Koolhaas, and we said, yeah, we want our building to be super transparent. We want a clear focus. The company is becoming so big, but how do we make sure everybody is working in the same direction, and how can everybody influence each other? Well, then this reference image came about, and it was the solution straight there. This is a group of super specialists, and they're all working with one clear focus. Everybody can walk everywhere, so inspiration can really freely flow over everybody's desk and reach everybody. Then this was the concept. The creatives in the middle, in this open space, and all the support you just wrap around it to make sure there's enough contact, so support can really support the creatives. Well, then this was the answer. The glass boxes are shifted in and out, which creates a few more functionalities. Another reference of this airplane hangar is that it has very big doors. And by closing the doors, you see the doors in construction. This was last week. I think today they were actually finished. You create a space that you can close off. This is a 500 square meter, we call them raw space. And in this, we don't really know actually what we're going to do, but we can do fashion shows, parties, big presentations. And we're actually very happy that we have no idea what we will do with this. And we will be in this building for another 10, 20 years. And it feels very comfortable that the building is not a solution, but it's more like a tool for us to work with. Backside pictures, I think this is the last one. Of course, we got into detail about the concrete, and I'm very happy with sort of this dark, glossy, and at the same time matte concrete slabs of 6 by 2 meters. Okay, reaching for the interior, we discussed this free flow of ideas and this free flow of people. So this was the OMA concept. And this is how it looks. So we're getting really close to this very open plan. But at the same time, because all the floors are shifted, everybody really has a sense of place wherever he is. Okay, thank you.
Please hold on 1 second, Pieter. First of all, thank you for your presentation, and your exceptional insight into the world of G-Star, because normally you as a company are pretty closed up in what you tell about how do you preserve your identity and how you build your identity with all sorts of stuff. So thank you very much. I do have, well, the occasion is there, of course, I have a couple of questions. First of all, you work in the 3D department. You are an engineer. Actually, you're not only the best dressed engineer, but you were chosen the best engineer period this year in the Netherlands. So congratulations. Thank you. Well, that's not best engineer period. And also, of course, best dressed engineer.
I don't know about the prize about the best dressed engineer actually.
Oh, well, you got it now. But one-man jury, that's me. I was wondering, is there any connection, because you showed a lot of ways of how you press denim into concrete, which makes a store, and while experimenting for a store interior, you press denim, which might turn up into a denim that's just 100% denim. Is there any physical contact? Do you guys walk in and out of each other's doors at the 3D department, design department, and the fashion design department?
Yes. Yeah, there's informal, and now we're in 2 buildings, so we're very happy to move all in 1 building. But also now there are formal and informal meetings to make sure this overlaps. Especially now with the online development, the need of, or actually the whole omni-channel environment, the need of transferring inspiration and design into the retail environment is super important.
Okay,
that's what stands us apart from, let's say, Zalando. We own the creativity, and Zalando doesn't. So that's how we can be stronger than Zalando in that way.
Okay, funny that you mentioned Zalando. I was just about to come to that. But first of all, you are... So that is going to change with it, because there's going to be more interaction. Do you think that will make a big difference that you're now, almost sharing tables with the fashion department? Do you really think that will make a big change?
We are already pushing this, but it's when the company is growing, it's becoming more difficult. You have to be careful not to be in meetings all day. That's I think the downside of it. Yeah. Yes, I do think it will make a change. Yes.
Okay, so that's worth checking out. You mentioned it, Zalando, but you also mentioned earlier that the coming up of the sales by internet, the web shops of denim. I know people who order their denim by email. They put it on, it doesn't fit, they send it back. So it is picking up very fast. Does it really change the way you have to design your fashion shops? In what way? You said it's becoming more of an experience, but how far can you go?
Well, it's not an experience for the sake of an experience. But the advantage of physical shopping is that you can actually try the denim on, and that there's somebody who can help you. So I really believe that for denim, because it's such a difficult product, you only know if you've got the right one once you've tried it on. Physical stores will always be there, but in the end you will use the advantage of online retailing with the advantages of physical retailing. I think 10 years from now, you will not distinguish that much between a store and an online store. It will all kind of be the same thing.
Well, if you take, for example, this what's the apple pie and crumbly? No, what's the name of? I really don't know.
Abercrombie.
Exactly, that company. No, I really didn't know. It's a stupid name I always forget. And we're not even talking about the clothes yet. But I think they build a whole image around the stores where everything's dark and half-naked young men are sweating there out. So they made a sort of a success of the experience of shopping. Of course, they're taking it quite far. But do you think that offering that sort of experience within the retail is becoming more and more important because of the Zalandos of this world?
Yes and no. We believe that finding a good denim, and if the service is good, if the fitting environment is not, usually it's a drag fitting, but if fitting can be really nice, then it's a wonderful shopping experience, but it's very product focused. So we try to do it without naked guys in the store, and just offering super good
unless,
service.
Of course, it's functional nudity. I mean, functionality is above all with the G-Star.
Yeah, but Dutch retail is not like Dutch film. So.
Okay. I'm very sorry. I do have to limit any questions from the audience because 90 minutes, you know, and we like to keep the speed up. But Pieter is afterwards standing at the bar. Do not be afraid. Approach him, offer him a beer or something, and he'll gladly answer all your questions. Can I have please a warm hand for Pieter? Thank you.